Welcome. Today we are going to review a few different Qigong exercises to release through the shoulders. So we're going to move our shoulders in many different planes of motion using a variety of Qigong exercises. So take a look down at your feet to start. Let's get them straight, level, maybe hip or shoulder distance apart, whatever's comfortable for you. And we're just going to begin with rolling the shoulders up, around, and forward. And as you do this, there's a few different things you're going to watch for. The first is, do both shoulders seem to be moving equally, symmetrically? Just kind of notice, begin to body sense. Not necessarily with judgment, just sensing, noticing. Take a look or feel into your hands. Are they both by your sides? Some compensatory patterns that we might have if a shoulder is stuck is one hand will leave the side. It kind of circumducts because that shoulder joint can't get the proper rotation. Another compensatory pattern that you might find would be that the elbow bends. So when the shoulder doesn't move very well, the elbow tries to do the job of the shoulder. Let's roll backward. So what's happening here? At the shoulder, the glenohumeral joint, we're getting a nice rotation in the socket. But we're also getting a little bit of retraction and protraction through the shoulder as well as through the scapula. So nothing in the body ever works alone. But sometimes we want to single out a joint and then begin to integrate it with the rest of the kinetic chain, especially if you've lost some mobility in any specific joint. Let's do one more set of these, one more backward, and we're going to roll forward again. Now this time, see if you can get your whole spine moving, kind of undulate the spine. You might find that the pelvis leads the movement. Stay grounded in the feet, relaxing through the fingers, through the elbows as you circle up, around, and forward. You might even coordinate the breath with this, and let's go backward again. Really stop to sense and feel and notice. Quiet the mind and really begin to sense into your body. Good. Stop and relax for a moment. Take your hands and bring them right at the armpit so that the elbows are out to the side. Now, of course, with any movement, we're doing what's safe for you and what feels right. If you have pain, that's an indicator that something's not moving correctly, and I would discontinue the exercise, adjust what needs to be adjusted before resuming, okay? These exercises should not be painful. So you're going to take the elbow now and lead it up, around, and forward. Once again, we're looking for symmetry between the right and the left. We're looking for compensatory patterns that we can become aware of. Through awareness, we can begin to resolve those. You can inhale as the elbows come up, around, and forward. We're getting some movement, both of the shoulder joint here, as well as some flexion and extension of the thoracic back. Some movement of the scapula along the rib cage. And going the other direction. In Qigong, one of the most important qualities, I believe, is sensing. Your ability to sense into your body, to notice. Notice if you have a little more crickling and crackling on one side, if you have more mobility on one side. Is one shoulder higher than the other? Using a mirror or using some visualization here can be helpful. And then gently asking your body, what does it need to free that up? Let's do 2 more. Good, and then relax the shoulders down, or the hands down, I should say. And we're going to move into spinal cord breathing. Now this is a spinal loosener, but it's also a shoulder exercise because we're getting some retraction and protraction of the scapula and the shoulder joint. So here we're going to inhale as the arms come out to the sides and we open through the chest, retracting. Exhale, tuck the pelvis and bring those hands together. We're going to get a lot of space here on the thoracic back as we protract, moving into flexion. So we inhale as we extend through the whole spine, opening through the chest, and we exhale. So the shoulders function in many different ways, and we've done a few shoulder rotations. This is more of a retraction and a protraction of both the shoulder joint and the scapula. So like I said, everything moves in integration. So we can separate out each joint, but ultimately we need to integrate. Inhale, extending. Exhale and flex. Extend. Flex. Once again, doing what is right for you and your body. If you have spinal issues, become aware of that. Not moving into positions that create pain. Notice as you inhale what you feel in the body as you move into that extension. Exhale. Notice any tightness along the back. And exhale any stress and tension. You should feel the whole spine as well as the thoracic back and the shoulders loosen up. It's okay if the elbows do not come together here. Sometimes I like to pull them together to get a little more abduction of the scapula. Last one. And bring those shoulders back down, those arms back down. So we're going to move here into some shoulder looseners that are really purging exercises in Qigong, but I love these for loosening up the shoulders. And I've actually found some people with shoulder issues really benefit from these. So we're going to start with the pump. So you're going to just let your arms come up and down. And we want this to be relaxed. So you'll see people in classes doing this where they're lifting their arms and lowering them. And you can see this isn't a relaxed movement. Imagine somebody's just holding your arm and let it go limp, completely limp, so that if you were to let it go, it would just fall. And that's what you want to feel here. And with each pass, we're just letting out any stress or tension in that shoulder joint. Now, if you have shoulder issues and it hurts to go overhead, you can just go to your chest, because over time, you're going to end up getting a little bit more movement. Now, from a side view, what we're doing here is we're lifting up, but then as we come down, the hips shift back. So what we're not doing here would be this, where we lose our vertical alignment. We're beginning here, and then as the hips shift back, we go into a nice hip hinge. We're not going here into lumbar flexion, okay? So it's up and back. You can almost imagine like you're jumping up. As those arms rise and fall, getting some really nice shoulder flexion and extension here. Some nice hip flexion and extension as well. Always paying attention to our alignment. And clearing with each breath. Stress and tension from the shoulders as well as the entire body. Free up. Really allowing for some good movement through the shoulders here in the sagittal plane, meaning flexion and extension. Couple more. And relax. You should feel lighter. Shoulders should be freeing up. And we're going to move into counter swing. This is a great one. Once again, for the shoulders, for the retractors and protractors, but also opening up through the upper back and neck. We have to remember the integration of all of these parts of the body. Furthermore, here we're going to be starting to integrate the hips. So as you bring the arms up, imagine like somebody's holding onto your arm, let it go limp, and just fall. And that's the feeling you want to have here. This is also called chi scattering. It's called tossing stones of tension. I've heard it called beating the heavenly drum. We're inhaling, and as we exhale, just drop, drop. Now as we drop, you're going to notice my pelvis moves slightly, moving from my center. My knees do not buckle, and my hips do not move side to side. This is a transverse motion of both the arms and the hips. Ground through the feet here. As we open up through the upper back, through the neck, through the shoulders. Abduction and adduction here of the shoulder. Both frontal and transverse plane movement. Opening through the spine, through the thoracic back. The shoulders are heavily influenced by the position of your thoracic back. And there's a space back there. We call it the space of emotional freedom. It's that space behind the heart, which can get kind of tight in the upper back. So we're releasing through there. Releasing through the shoulders, grounding through the lower body. The more stable our foundation, the more rooted and grounded we are, the more relaxed our upper body and our shoulders can be. So ground from below as you feel into all 3 points of contact on both feet, stabilizing that femur joint and rotating through the pelvis. With each breath, just let go of any tightness or tension in the shoulders, in the upper back. Couple more here. And relax. And let's take the right arm and bring it forward as the left comes back. And almost like a swimming motion, left comes forward with that hip. Right and left, once again, working those retractors, those protractors, loosening up through the shoulders. This is like a swimming motion. You can almost imagine yourself swimming. And this movement is called both Repulse the Monkey. It's very similar to the liver movement in the Daoist 5. Let it feel good. Get a little bit of spinal movement here, lots of rib cage movement. Working those lines of tension, freeing up through the shoulders. Letting the hip move with the arm. Feel that retraction, that protraction. The arm that comes back is palm up. The arm that comes forward is palm down. Let's just do a few more here. Once again, moving through those shoulders, increasing mobility. If some of these movements are hard right now, they won't be later. The body is so adaptable. Give yourself time, give yourself patience. If a movement is causing pain, find out why, and then resume once the alignment is in check. And relax, and let's knock. So this movement is called knocking on the gate of life. So this is a wonderful one for the shoulders. Relax, relax. Just release the shoulders here. Once again, from the feet, we're grounded. You should feel the ball of the foot by the big toe, the ball of the foot by the pinky toe, and the heel all grounded and rooted. The legs are stable. The pelvis moves side to side as you move from your center, and the upper body relaxes. So the arms are swinging back and forth as we knock at the lower back, freeing up tension there. Knocking at the gate of life for energy, for vitality through the body, and releasing through the shoulders. Relax, relax, relax. Once again, the more stable we are below, the more relaxed we can be above. Find that flexibility. Notice if it's easier to rotate to one side or the other. That body sensing is really going to help long term. You'll become more aware of any compensatory patterns in the body. And just relax the shoulders. Let them just move side to side. Here we can really work on the relaxation. The yin counterpart here to knocking. Relaxing those arms as if we're just pushing water back and forth. Noticing the stillness and the silence, the air between the fingers. And as you feel into that, relax through the hands, the wrists, the forearms, the upper arms, the shoulders. Find that connection with your rib cage, your scapula, your pelvis, rooting down through the feet. And stop and relax there. And we're going to end with a movement I really like to open through the shoulders. It's a bit more advanced, so be cautious and listen to your body here. You're going to come into a side lunge. So the back foot here is pointed straight ahead, and the other foot to the side. And you're going to come into that side lunge, keeping the knee, okay, this right knee, right over that ankle. So what's often going to happen, especially if you're tight in the hips, is that knee's going to want to come forward. So let's keep the knee right over the ankle. Finding our center, lower dantian, okay, where movement is generated from here, right below the navel. We're going to relax the left arm, just relax it. And as we shift forward to that front leg, let that arm come up and around. Exhale. Inhale as it comes up. Now as it comes around, keep that right knee out. Inhaling and exhaling. Relax through the shoulder here. Really release through the shoulder, and we're not moving with the arm. So what you'll notice is we're moving with the center. The center of the body generates the movement. Shift the weight. Let the arm rise. Coming around, let the arm fall. Nice big shoulder movement here, getting into the rib cage of it. All sorts of muscles in there. How does the shoulder function with the rest of the body? Let's do 2 more. Stabilizing through the lower body. And coming back. Bring that right foot nice and straight. Left foot turns out, coming into the lunge. Now notice right away, is there a difference? Are you a little tighter through one hip than the other? It's pretty common. Just begin to notice, and notice how that shifts and changes as you practice. Inhale up and around. Exhale forward. Leading with the center. Relaxing through the arm. With each pass, feeling it loosen up. Feeling the hip open. Let's do 2 more. Reaching over that front leg and around. And coming back into the center. And there's your shoulder exercises. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you again soon.